the negative of what
I'm not going to slap you.
Muslims,
that's the left thing.
Muslims like me that keep saying that's wrong.
I don't use violence.
Muslims
That's
like
your
me
people.
Muslims like me that keep saying this is wrong, and then you keep hearing someone saying, oh well, no, it's bad, and you're all murderers, and you're whatnot, and this is what your Quran says.
How many times a day do you pray?
Hang on a second.
Do you pray 5 times a day?
1 second, please.
Do you pray 5 times a day?
Yes, well, I try and do my best. I'm not the best.
How many times a day do you pray?
5 times a day, but I'm not the best.
You pray 5 times a day?
I am not the best. I miss a bit. I've made that clear.
When's your next prayer today?
Listen,
what time?
I won't have time until I get home.
So you're not
right?
praying 5 times a day? Will you pray 5 times tomorrow?
I do my best.
Do you do namaz on Fridays?
I do my best. Let me finish my question.
Do you go to namaz on Fridays?
Let me finish my question.
Do you go to namaz on Fridays?
No, I do not. I don't follow a preacher.
So,
I don't follow an imam, okay? I don't want, because I don't want to get confused in certain ways. Regardless.
So there isn't a single Islamic country or Islamic leader that gets it right. You, on the other hand, have it right.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
You
I'm not saying that at all.
To a virtuous version of Islam that none of us have ever heard
of.
No,
I'm not saying that at all.
No Muslim country operates
to
according to. But so if we were to give you like the keys to an empty country, you would be able to create a version of Islam that doesn't oppress women and murder homosexuals.
Well, I would create it to the way that God wanted peace and love, and He is just. He is not unjust, as some will.
The principle of Quranic abrogation, right?
Look, I'm not a scholar. I'm not a scholar.
So what Quranic abrogation means, what it means is that because the Quran is inherently internally inconsistent, like a lot of big, long, complicated books, right? Quranic abrogation is not a Western principle. It is an accepted Islamic principle of scholarship, which says that out of the verses that contradict one another, the verses that were revealed to Muhammad later supersede the ones that were revealed earlier. So if you reorder the Quran chronologically, the stuff that came later, that was revealed to Muhammad by Allah later, supersedes anything that might be contradictory in the earlier verses.
And who told you this information?
Well, this is
Which scholar gave you this information? Did you read it out of the book yourself?
Very well established Islamic scholarship. So the problem that you have, right, is that the later verses, when Muhammad was a warlord, right, supersede the earlier ones, which are all the peace, love, and understanding.
No,
so the jihad verses that are about killing the unbeliever are the ones that, according to Islamic scholars, are the ones that supersede the peace, love, and understanding.
If we keep saying that, Islam teaches you this, we can slap each other back and forth.
You're challenging me on the name of specific scholars, and you didn't even know what abrogation meant.
Let me speak. We can slap each other back and forth, but if we're going to keep addressing the negative of what
I'm not going to slap you.
Muslims like me that keep saying that's wrong.
I don't use violence.
Muslims like me that keep saying this is wrong, and then you keep hearing someone saying, oh well, no, it's bad, and you're all murderers, and you're whatnot, and this is what your Quran says.
How many times a day do you pray?
Hang on a second. How many times? 1 second, please.
Do you pray 5 times a day?
Yes, well, I try and do my best. I'm not the best.
How many times a day do you pray?
5 times a day, but I'm not the best.
You pray 5 times a day?
I am not the best. I miss a bit. I've made that clear.
When's your next prayer today?
Listen,
what time?
I won't have time until I get home.
So you're not praying 5 times a day? Will you pray 5 times tomorrow?
I do my best.
Do you do namaz on Fridays?
I do my best. Let me finish my question.
Do you go to namaz on Fridays?
Let me finish my question.
Do you go to namaz on Fridays?
No, I do not. I don't follow a preacher.
So,
I don't follow an imam, okay? I don't want, because I don't want to get confused in certain ways. Regardless,
I just don't understand what respect you call yourself a Muslim.
What I'm trying to say to you is, right, whether we keep identifying the negative and people like me saying, well, no, we're not all like that, right? You have your opinion on so many things. We can agree to disagree on so many different levels. What is your solution? If you think you have the answer to everything, please let me know. What is your solution? You're saying
Islam from the West.
Expel Islam from the West.
Yeah. Anyone who describes themselves as a Muslim, send them back to the Middle East.
Say that again.
Anyone who describes themselves as a Muslim, we should send back to the Middle East.
So I should go back to the Middle East then?
If you describe yourself as a Muslim, if you believe in the precepts of Islam and all of the things that Islam seems to produce in those countries, I think you should
Maybe you need to...
What happened to your page, Right Wing News?
Right Wing News got very, very large because of Facebook. We had, there were a lot of pages on there. We were one that people already sort of knew from our days in the blogosphere, so we grew very, very fast. We got up to maybe right around 3.5 million people.
Wow.
At our peak, we did 27 million people in a month. Mm-hmm. Many of those driven by Facebook. So we did some enormous numbers. What happened over time was that Facebook did not like that us and other conservative websites in particular, and pages in general, were getting so much traffic, and they just started methodically cutting it down. Mm-hmm. After the election, when liberals were hollering about fake news and Russian trolls, they really cut into us. So the numbers just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. And it got to the point where you had people who were signing up to see the page, and they just could not get it in their feeds. And so now if you look at the page on Facebook, what you will see is they'll have their list of approved all liberal news sources, or pretty close to all liberal, and the stuff from the pages very rarely comes through anymore, even though that's what you signed up for, even though that's what you wanted.
This is the promise of gender equality. Guys sitting at home in their underwear in absolute filth, playing Xbox into their 40s, and women living in museums of relationships with themselves, and having little dogs that fit in their fur. It's sick. I hate all of it, and I know people aren't happy.
Women are clearly not all right. I mean, the levels of women who report themselves as more generally unhappy with life, who have contemplated suicide, have suffered from depression, these numbers skyrocket among women who get into their 30s and are still single, and by the time they're 40, forget it. If it were up to me, I would uninvent the washing machine and the pill.
Yeah.
Because the washing machine...
And the what?
And the pill, the contraceptive pill.
And the pill, yeah.
The washing machine, because it released that half of the population into the workforce, screwed things up for men and made women miserable. And the contraceptive pill, not only because God hates it, but because it encouraged women to seek temporary solace in promiscuous, casual, transient sexual relations, which don't seem to have an emotional impact on men. Maybe even we're wired to do that kind of thing, but they're emotionally devastating for women. The only thing worse than a woman who is single at the age of 35 is a woman who is single at the age of 35 who has a lot of one-night stands. Those women are desperately unhappy.
From one feminist horror show to another, it's Justin Trudeau who cannot handle the word mankind. This is this is the most Canadian thing that has ever happened. Watch this video.
Maternal love is the love that's going to change the future of mankind. So we'd like you to look
we like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind, because it's more inclusive.
There we go, exactly. Yes, thank you.
We can all learn from each other.
And look at that smile. You see the smile on his face, like he did a good thing. Like he's actually the ultimate virtue signaler.
Yeah, I was about to say it's like the worst case of virtue signaling.
No. That smirking, like, didn't I do well? Didn't I do well? I know you're a good prime minister. Oh God, this is the guy, by the way, who wore Ramadan socks to gay pride. This is what I'm talking about. This intersectionality of the left, the coalition building that they're attempting to do, which appears now basically to have reached a point of self-engorgement. They've tried to give everybody in the world, every single person who exists in America, they've tried to put them into some kind of victimhood category. They've tried to give them something to complain and, of course, miraculously hate capitalism about, to the point where the only people who are left are straight white males. Never mind that they invented everything and do all the good shit.
This is why I want conservatives to stop being nice. David Hawke can get your Fox show taken off air for a week. Why? Because you made the mistake of apologizing to him, and you should have known that he wasn't going to accept the apology. You should have known that he was going to double down. You should have known that he was going to go for your advertisers. It's just so mental. This is the deal you do when you take a Fox show, is you're going to have your press strategy, have your wings clipped, basically. It's a deal you do. It's like, I want bigger reach, but I can't really say what I mean. And I can't respond to things in a way that I know would be more effective. Because somebody at Fox has said, no, you got to apologize. Got to apologize. Can't call a kid whiny. Yes, you fucking can. And you especially can when they are like funded by the Giffords Foundation and having like their millions of dollars for marches and goodness knows whatever else is going on behind this.
Matt was a great guy. And we put it out there because we wanted to raise money for his memorial service for his mother. And of course, when the Proud Boys put anything online, because well, as you must know, we're horrible racist Nazis for not supporting Hillary. They decided, when I say they, I mean the left, specifically Antifa, Facebook groups and whatnot, decided they were going to call him a Nazi, say these guys are white supremacists, I'm glad he's dead, I piss on his fucking grave, this and that. And it all got back to Matt's mother, who decided that the best course of action was to cancel his funeral. Sociopathy is the only thing I could describe this as, where it's the ability to inflict as much hateful, weird amount of unnecessary damage to somebody, but if somebody tells you to use the men's room, you're beside yourself, and as you say all the time, you need your fainting couch, and you can't believe the hard oppression that you just had to go through. But when somebody you never met dies, your first instinct is, I should harass their family.